Here we are. Happy Friday. It's nighttime. Not literally this time, but figuratively in spirit. And let's talk. So, don't have a guest today. Don't have any thoughts about bringing anyone on. I wanted to give a kind of a new life into this podcast. I wanted to kind of give a little bit new of approach. Um, why? Largely because I am training for CrossFit Games, the adaptive divisions, and it's a lot of training. I've got a lot of work, and yeah, I don't know. I wanted to try something new with like having a morning or daytime kind of edition, and then specifically, I wanted to kind of try a showcase of like what I'm doing training wise in terms of um, maybe like every week, maybe every day. I might try to jump on every day and just kind of talk about the stuff that I'm doing, training wise, nutrition wise, mobility wise, all the things that I'm working on personally, my personal journey. So I got my coffee, and here it's 9:30 a.m. So I got work in. I got 30 minutes before I got to kind of get started with work stuff. So why not kind of start my day with a little bit of a conversation? I don't know if anyone is going to be available, but maybe this is something that people are tuning into on the way to work or in some other capacity. But, anyways, yeah. So it's been a bit. So I've been. It's been kind of an eventful last couple weeks. Um, Personally, I let me. I'm just looking at the calendar. What do I want to cover here? So, CrossFit semifinals is probably the last um, big thing. So I am unofficially ranked number 3. I am um, behind Victor and then Mike Biton. And I actually have a very, very important announcement, which is that I beat Victor in a workout. So everyone needs to forever remember this, that I have beat Victor officially in a workout. And I almost want to just bring it up just to kind of show it off and make him feel bad, you know? Um, no, I don't think he feels bad. I beat him by I think it's especially sweet because of the fact that I beat him by 1 rep. Now I will say that the caveat here is that how do I what the heck? Okay, there we go. The caveat here is that the scores are unofficial, so there's a good chance that given the history of Wheel Wad and my movement standards and the judging standards to which we're being held, I will my score will change. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but you never know. Um, and sorry, what is going on here? But we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna do my best. So I just wanted to highlight this fact that where is it? This guy. Oops. No, I just want to sort it by this row. Okay, there we go. So I officially beat Victor by 1 rep. So Victor, if you're the one guy watching, sucks to suck. I'm sorry, not really, but I hope that that score stands because that is very exciting for me. Um, so, anyways, I just thought I'd start with a little win, because I have other things that are not going so well. My girlfriend broke up with me, so that was like a few days ago officially, but we had kind of taken some space a little bit before that. So, yeah, so I'm back on the market, I guess. And so yeah, that's been kind of stressful. It's been kind of tough personally, but I think it's for the best, and I think we are both yeah, uh, kind of wishing each other the best. It's not like a nasty, like angry sort of thing for the most part, I think. I think there's frustration, definitely. But it's not like, hey, like, you know, something terrible happened. I can't believe that you did this. Definitely not like that. So fairly amicable, I would say. And it was, 3 months. I think we're together for 3 months. So it's, in terms of like an overall investment of time and effort and everything like that. Yeah, it's like significant, but not something that's something. We're not talking like years of investment and time and sacrifice and dedication and commitment for it to all kind of fall apart. Um, that doesn't kind of lessen the fact that it sucks, right? But obviously, um, I guess there is a dimension. There's a way that it could be worse. um, definitely could have been worse. But I want to try to update my graphics here really quick live. I don't know. I've been obviously, yeah. So work's been kind of crazy. I had that personal thing with the relationship. That sucks. But that always, I feel like that always takes you out, puts you down for the count for a little bit. And then semis, which took about a week to like kind of recover from. I was, I just kind of like went all out. I was pretty happy with my heavy Isabel result. And I was like looking back at it and thinking about it, how I became, I was like frustrated. So a lot of like what you see in the video of me kind of doing that workout is me just being like, like, what the fuck? Like, just like frustrated about like things kind of not going my way and just like ripping that barbell off the ground. So I was like able to channel my frustrations into something productive. And I think, what did I get on that? I think it wasn't my best performance, I think, in semis. What the heck? I'm just going to bring that up again. Competition corner. Yeah, I don't know. Why not? I'll just give a little bit of a see if there's anything else in the workouts that are worth noting that I want to talk about really quick before we dive into training and what I've been up to the since the semis, which was like 2 weeks ago, I believe. 2 weeks ago, I don't know. Whatever. My sense of time has been a little bit warped, I think. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so heavy Isabel. Yeah, so Tyler edged me out on this guy a few seconds. I initially thought that I had almost beat him by 309. I went back, watched the video, and sure enough, it was more like 312. So a couple minutes after that. Yeah. So, anyways, so that was fun. That was a good one. How I do in the second one? The second one is this 14-minute AMRAP. That's the one I had edged out. Beat Victor. Sorry, Victor. Not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. And then here we go. This was interesting. Let's see. This was the double unders, and this was the double unders snatches with a lighter barbell or dumbbell, and push-ups. So this is an interesting one. I wonder how I see that Moises beat me here. Um, I don't know if that's surprising to me, but I'm curious. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, especially because I think he finished 13th overall. So this actually might make sense because I think Moses is very good at double under. So this might have been his kind of unbroken double unders making a big difference for him there. And then this is the what's it called? This is this part B of it, which is that complex. So it was squat clean. No, it wasn't a squat clean. It was a power clean, two front squats, and then hang power clean. So interesting. I don't know, Juan Carlos Aguirre. I don't know who this is. 165, 154, and then me with 146. And so there's part of me that kind of feels bad about this with Tyler. I beat him by 1 pound on this. And the reason, and if he watches, so Tyler, sorry. I mean, again, kind of sorry, not sorry, but So the reason like what happened here was basically I put on 135 on the bar. At this point in time, I think Stephen Walker, my buddy Steven, had already submitted his scores and he had put up a 135. And I had been like, okay, that seems like a good place to start. And so I wanted to kind of start at 135. And then I wanted to, um, actually, no, I warmed up to 135. And then I wanted my first rep to be 130, 36. So I just put on like a half pound plate on either side. And then I had him basically in that first round. On the second try, I tried 145, so I added fives on each end, and actually I failed that. And I was like, if you watch the video back, I remember it's kind of funny. Like for some reason, I was like, yeah, well, I failed the 145, but you know what the heck? Why not throw on the half pounds again? Because someone might be kind of thinking the same thing. They're going to up by 10 pounds based on what Steven did. So I was like, okay, I'll just kind of make sure that I can kind of get that one extra pound on it. And sure enough, that was what I got. So boom. Sorry, Tyler. Um, let's see. Is that it? 4 workouts? No, there's one more, isn't there? I could have sworn there was another one, but anyways, no, there wasn't. I think no, there was. I'm so confused. Hold on. Maybe it's my window. Let me refresh the page. Okay, yeah, then it's the pull-ups workout. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, anyways. So this is the pull-ups workout. We've got Greg Gintz. Okay, interesting. So 68 one-arm pull-ups. I think this is going to change. This is not real. These must be like jumping pull-ups, so this might be just a scaled score entry. Just based on what else I'm seeing here, because Victor here had 34, and I saw a video of him doing it, and he was just like cranking them out, kind of crazy. Same here thing with Joshua. I think these are jumping. A one-arm pull-up is pretty crazy of a movement. It's not that easy. So the fact Victor gets 34 makes sense. He's got a great pulling motion. Mike makes sense. Tyler makes sense. Juan Carlos beat me by 1 rep. I'm curious, like why? Where did he finish? Fifth? Yeah, so he's kind of up there. I don't remember his scores coming up in the open, but anyways. Okay, cool. So, all right. We've been on for 13 minutes. I'm thinking that I will go over to Training Log and sort of just talk through. Oops, sorry. I'll just go to the Training Log, talk through kind of like what's going on. And actually, I'm gonna have to enter. I'm gonna have to enter my things here because I I just got caught up this morning with just I don't know whatever me being me in the morning, kind of slow and steady, I guess. Here, hence the second coffee, which is important. So let's see, got to go back to the Beyond the Whiteboard. And yeah, we'll just share, we'll just present. This is, I had a talk with a good friend of mine, and he's running marathons, and I was like, how do you track your work? And he, because I had been using like a paper chart log basically, and he was like, oh, I have a spreadsheet, and I was like, you know what, that makes the most sense, because when you think about it, everyone, boys and girls, okay, hold on, where is it? No, I want this to. When you think about it, there's 110 days to the CrossFit Games. So that's a lot of paper, you know what I mean? And so I think just being able to kind of have things in a more graphical, visual way, And so I tried to just throw this together as a very basic as a very basic starting point for me. And so I think I'll try to add stuff as I get on, but you know, this is just like the basic entry point for it. So we're starting here. So we've got a M, we've got a metabolic conditioning, we've got a G. This is today. I already did the workout. I went in early and I kind of suffered because I went in early and then I did the workout later last night from class. And yeah, my body was feeling it. I will mention, first of all, something kind of cool, which is that my gym just started using Mayhem, what's it called? Mayhem programming. And so I'm liking the design of the workouts and the structure. And I feel that it seems like a very good varied program. Like it does variance very well, so you don't do kind of repeated movement patterns like back to back to back as much. um, so every day you kind of hit something new, which I think helps with a lot of like recovery. And I was like thinking about this today, like injury prevention too is a big deal, is a big part of this. So we had some gymnastics and we had some weightlifting. Okay, so this is Forest, and it was 2 rounds for time of I don't know if I want to write it all out. Row, um, front squats, double unders, shoulder to overhead, double unders, thrusters, and then row. And I did 75 pounds. I think RX was a 115 for the men, and oh, this says it's 85 pounds. So maybe it was, I don't know. I think 75 pounds was RX for the women. So yeah, I mean, I'll just do this. It was 15, 100, 15, 100, oops, 1900, 15, and it was 300, 300. I'm gonna rate this as a 7. I was dying. I'm not gonna fill these out. I'm not sure I want to put in this stuff yet. Benchmark result. What's it called? Benchmarks, accessories. I'm trying to track how my size here, how heavy I am. That'll be helpful with I'm talking to Liv, my nutritionist at Better Version Nutrition. Highly recommend if anyone is looking for some help with their diet. I should have her sponsor this show for like $12. Okay. So, oh no, Thursday. Thursday was yesterday. We had this. It was basically what's it called? It was basically a fight gone bad sort of thing where you have your score is reps, and basically what you're doing is working for 50 seconds, resting for 10 seconds, and you had 3 movements. So it was dumbbells, it was kettlebell swings, box step ups, and burpees. So you'd work on one of those movements for 50 seconds. However many reps you get is like you wrote it down, and then you do that again. So there was 5 rounds total. So you went through 1, 2, 3 movements, round 1, round 2, 1, 2, 3 movements, round 3, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. I got, what did I get? This was called Private Ryan. I don't know why it was called that. Let's see, but let me just make sure I get. Okay, so we had kettlebell swings. Now I've never like. We've got gymnastics. I think it's weightlifting. I can't remember. According to the L1, according to kind of CrossFit methodology, what a kettlebell swing counts as. I know we've got gymnastics because we've got burpees. We've got like the box. Usually that's a gymnastic movement, but the kettlebell swing, Mm, let's see. Googling, is kettlebell swing a gymnastic movement? Okay, let's see what this says. I could also just look at my L1 manual. I'm going to look at my L1. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I'm feeling it. Okay. Load. Okay, we got yeah, kettlebell. Kettlebell is listed as a weightlifting movement here in my L1 training guide. So, going back to this guy, yeah, we got gymnastics and weightlifting here. So this guy, we're gonna call it. What is it called? Crap, I always forget. Oh, it's Private Ryan. Private Ryan. And then we've got 5 round for time. Max KB swing, max box step, max burpee to target. 50 seconds work. 10 seconds rest. Okay. Cool. This guy was probably a 6, I would say, RPE. Just based on how that felt. Did not feel very good in a way. So, anyways, yeah, so that was kind of my week. Saturday, tomorrow, I'm taking off. Tomorrow will be a rest day. I still don't know how to mark that in my log here. I'll figure that out. But anyways, I mean, it's basically 6 days of activity this week, which I'm pretty proud of. 4 classes, 2 active recovery days. This day, Wednesday, I was just like really feeling it. I think I had that conversation with my ex the day before, and so I was just like really not feeling great at the day. So I just went to the gym, did 35 minutes easy run on the True Form. I think it was like around 5K is what I did the distance wise, but I was just going for time, easy. Try to do that zone 1, zone 2. I'm also, speaking of that, zone 1, zone 2, all that stuff, like I'm just mouth breathing, but for some reason nose breathing, just to kind of make sure that I'm not going too hard. Yeah, my Whoop was saying that I was like in zone 1, and I was like, definitely this is not easy. I mean, it's definitely easy, I should say, but it's definitely not like I'm walking to the park or something like that. This little effort, the effort level felt a little bit higher than like my heart was like showing. So I'm in a mode right now of trying to like cut my costs and like save money. So I'm definitely like planning on canceling my Whoop. um, like it's been helpful. It's been nice for certain things, but at the same time, like there's cheaper ways of doing it. And I mean, I heard a podcaster, and granted, the other day saying me that like no like serious athletes use Whoop. And there's something to that, because I remember like when I was working out in California, and back in my old gym, there was like a certain freedom that I think I had to just kind of not have to worry about like, oh, what was my score? What was my heart rate? I mean, it doesn't even seem that accurate. Some half the time, I think it doesn't even catch my, pick up the workouts when I do one. So it used to like it seems like sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. Like some days, like I think literally the other day, I was like, I did a wad, I didn't pick it up, um, and then I walked to somewhere. I can't remember where I was walking, and when I walked, like, it said, "Oh, yeah, walking detected." And I was like, "Okay, well, you picked up the walking detected, but you didn't pick up anything else." So I don't know how much I trust this right now. So anyways, cool. So, Saturday, long story short, just gonna be a rest day. I don't know how to enter that. I wanna kinda be thoughtful about entering this data because I wanna make sure that I wanna be able to kind of have this as a chart, kinda showing my breakdown of days and work and all that stuff. So and just kind of find out what's useful to me, what's helpful, what kind of encourages me, what is motivating, how I can kind of track things over time, and yeah, just kind of be consistent. And I think that's because I think that's all it takes is at the end of the day, right? I think just showing up makes a big difference, especially when you're kind of new to CrossFit, which I still consider myself. I think I'm within the first 5 years of doing CrossFit. It's been like almost 3 years right now. I think at this point. Like, this is, like, early days. So, being able to handle 5 days or 4 days of class is something that I feel like recently, is, like, kinda right about where I am, like, what my capacity is, like, 4 or 5 days a week. Um, so, proud of that, happy with that, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Also Saturday tomorrow, I'm participating in a program, like a professional development program. I have a couple friends that organized this program a couple years ago. I heard about it, seemed like very interesting, but basically, it's a way of kind of helping to clarify what your personal why is for work and pers- for personal life, personal goals, things like that. So hopefully, there's something interesting that comes out of that for me personally, and that can kind of get me going, get me started, get me motivated to continue kicking butt and taking names and see what the next chapter of life looks like. Whether I decide to stay here in DC or whether I decide to move back to California and where in California, these are all things that I'm considering now that I am single again and don't have any family out here. So, yeah. Anyways, cool. Well, I think we'll call it. It's 10 a.m. here. Probably get started with work. My coffee is almost done. Um, we will see if I'm going to be able. I still don't 100% know if I'm going to be doing this kind of podcast nighttime talk every day or every week, continuing it with kind of like the week in review sort of attitude. Um, I kind of like the idea of having something to check in every day and kind of work on and kind of just talk about the workout and in more detail, talk about what's going on in more detail. Partially, I think this could be helpful to people who are new to CrossFit, especially people who are kind of adaptive athletes who are just trying to figure out how to get started and what that looks like. And I think, granted, a lot of this kind of centers around for the games for me personally. And for me personally, going into CrossFit, I was not interested in the games. I was just interested in the fact that it was a way that I could communicate, like build community, get work out in the community, get to know people, make friends, and be very consistent in the gym in kind of an engaging way where I don't want to have to go to the gym and like think, okay, what am I going to do? Or like I have to like find programming online or like figure out like what I want to do. I can just show up and have someone tell me what to do. I think that's one of the beauties of CrossFit for me personally, and kind of the affiliate model and the class model. So it's not something I take very seriously and think is really important. And so I think kind of having a daily check in for people and kind of like, what are you doing? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Would be helpful. Anyone else who's kind of training for CrossFit Games, getting ready, we can look at this countdown together potentially as well, and get to know each other as well. And anyone who kind of wants to follow along, and it just gives them a little bit more of a chance to be kind of transparent and behind the scenesy about like what's going on in my life, um, and which hopefully can help people and bring some value. So, um, cool. All right. Anyways, that's all I got. So, peace out, everyone. Good night. Good luck, and Godspeed. We'll see you soon.